Again, thank you. Oh, very down. Thank you, guys.
We can't hear Roger yet, so we're just...
That's because he's on mute.
How you doing, Pete? You okay?
I'm all right.
We've had a nice chat upstairs about all sorts of things, actually.
I've never really been crazy about touring, but performing, once I'm on a stage, I was hypnotized once as a little boy by my dentist, who was experimenting with hypnotism, that whenever I walked on a stage, I would do my best. I thought I was going to be an artist. I was at art college. And that's what happens. I get on a stage, I remember that hypnotic, post-hypnotic suggestion, and I do my best. And that's how it works for me. I find it easy. It's always been easy. But being on the road is not a great way to live. You know, you leave your family behind and so on and so forth.
I don't know what to do with this.
But there's...
Hey,
Ray!
he's there.
Gotcha.
Roger, are you
Yes.
there? Hello, Roger. We're talking about touring in America.
I mean, you've got to remember where we come from. We were, you know, post-war England, the land of spam and jam sandwiches. And then everybody's dream was to make it successfully in America. Every musician, young musician's dream was that. Because that was where we first heard the pulses of rock music coming from.
Right from the beginning, going back to memories of America, we have, I think it's fair to say that our strongest audience is New York based. And I think that's very much because of the Murray the K show. We did we were supposed to do 6, but we did 4 shows a day for 2 weeks. I think that's roughly what it was.
Sorry, 4 shows a day?
Smashing a guitar at each gig, yeah.
Wow.
And so I had to repair them in between shows. And it was just when we were sort of indoctrinated into the way that American music fans were different to the UK music fans and the European music fans. This sense of, yeah, they came and they had a good time and they shouted and screamed, but they really, really, really listened.
Beginning at Friday, May 16th at 10 a.m. local time.
Roger always comes up with really great names for tours, but I think that this one is rather poignant.
Yeah.
It's from the Lost Lifehouse project. It was featured on the Who's Next album.
The trouble is, Pete's written so many great tracks. We are never going to please all of our audience, and it is a fact that a lot of people have got memories of things that's happened in their lives where they've been at a Who show. You know, they've met their future wives and husbands at Who shows. They take it and they now bring their grandchildren. So they, you know, us being out there performing for the last time is really just to say to them thank you and just to deliver those songs. And I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to do a show, any of the shows, without doing Won't Get Fooled Again, without doing Barbara O'Reilly or Behind Blue Eyes. And the rest is up for grabs. I mean, I know all the songs. I perform quite a lot more with my solo bands than the Who do, because the audience is much more forgiving. I don't have to please 20,000, 25,000 people a night. I only have to please 3.
You know, we don't perform as much, we don't tour as much as many bands do. So a lot of our fans are patiently waiting a lot of the time to see us. So the longevity has been something that's just happened. You know, time passes. As you get older, it passes faster and faster and faster until you find yourself here. You know, at a point where you have to accept that you can't do what you used to do.
My voice isn't, I can still sing songs in the same keys as back in those days, but it's got a totally different quality. That's because there's 60 years of living coming out in that voice.
For me, the joy is when I work on the stage, when I hear Barbara O'Reilly rippling away. I think I wrote this when I was 26. You know, it was an electronic piece of music. Wasn't I clever? You know? And then we have to perform it. And so for me, it's the link between the creative stuff and the performing.
There's a feeling, when I hear the lyrics, I can hear a million songs and I like the melody and I think that's all right, but I don't want to sing it. But there's something about the way Pete's always written that I've always been absolutely passionate about, just making the audience connect to it emotionally. Totally, you know, I can't explain it. I wish I could, but I don't feel whole unless I'm singing.
Whatever we play, the chances are I will have written it. So there's that sense of closing a circle, having one last grab at trying to bring that thing to life.
We have to ask about the UK and Europe. Are there any plans to officially say goodbye to us here? Or
I'll leave that one to Roger to answer.
Oh, Roger.
Oh, thanks, Pete. Let's see if we survive this one.
What's the one song you want to be remembered for? Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, thank you so much for
Thank you, Claire.
joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
And, you know, here's to America. We're very jealous of America. They're going to get you, and it's going to be amazing.
Well, I just like to thank America. Like I say, in my opinion, America's always been great.
Yeah. Yeah.
The land of steak.